Hey everybody, Yankee here. Today I want to talk about a topic that, although not directly gun related, does deal with something that a lot of people in the gun community are worried about. It's about Donald Trump planning to stage a huge dictator style military parade on his birthday to commemorate his birthday. I've had people in my live chats ask me about it. I've had people send me emails about it saying, "What do you think?" And like I said, this isn't particularly gun related, but, he is the president of the United States. And if you care about the Constitution and how things are done, you kind of worry about things the president of the United States does. So I'm going to address it since so many people have asked me about it. I mean, it's been like 5 or 6 people, but still, for me, that's a lot of people. Most people don't want to talk to me. So when they do, it's, kind of a big thing. So is this true? Is the president doing this? When I was asked about this in my live chat, I said, I don't know. I've never heard that. But if that's true, it's pretty pathetic. And it would be pathetic. We're not some dictatorship, some communist country trying to roll all of our tanks through the streets to keep the citizens in line or impress anyone or scare anyone. That's just not U.S. style. I don't like it. So it seems kind of silly. And if it's Trump doing it to commemorate himself with the military, that wouldn't make a lot of sense since he's never served in the military. In fact, he had opportunity to serve in the military and chose not to. Like a lot of rich people did, he got out of the draft. So he's not a military guy in any way. No experience in the military. He went to military school. That's not the same thing, not even close. That's not even ROTC. So it all struck me as kind of odd. And I said, if this is true, it's pathetic. But is it true? After looking into it a little more, since I initially said I can't really comment because I don't know, the more I look into it, the less true it seems. And the more I look into it, it seems like a lot of people left out a lot of stuff. Now, as far as it being true, I don't see any information that would verify it. It seems like every story is, some people say, and someone floated the idea, or Donald Trump might be open to. It's just a bunch of stuff like that. A lot of speculation, a lot of conjecture. I didn't see anything where, they've looked into this, or there's any plans, or any permits, or any, commanders or battalions or anybody have been notified that this is going to be something that might happen. No one's got any information, any concrete information on it. And Donald Trump's never said anything about it. People say, he's open to it. He wants to do it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I've never heard him say anything about it. If he has, feel free to let me know, but I haven't seen it. And the fact that he hasn't said it makes me think he isn't thinking it, because there isn't a lot of, barrier between what Donald Trump thinks and what he says. So if he was thinking it, I think he just said it. And plus, there's a few details people are leaving out. His birthday happens to fall on the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army, the U.S. military. So if they were going to do a parade on that day, I don't think it would be a commemoration of Donald Trump's birthday. It would be a commemoration of the anniversary of the armed forces. Just so happens it is his birthday. Now that might make him be more open to the idea of doing it, since he'd be like, a great way to celebrate my birthday. Although I don't know if I would want to draw a lot of attention to the military on my birthday if I was someone that never served. But he is the commander-in-chief of our military, so, he might say, it's their anniversary, let's do something. Now, I don't agree with a big military-style parade. Like I said, it's not American style. It's just gross, in my opinion. It's being a bully, kind of. That's what it looks like. It looks like some tin-pot dictator being a bully, trying to show off, trying to strut around. I don't like that kind of stuff. Americans in general have never liked that kind of stuff. So I don't think it's a good idea for anyone. I think there's lots of ways we should commemorate the military, but big military parade, marching weapons through the streets, no, that's not our style. So as of right now, I'm going to have to say, as far as this rumor is concerned, it doesn't seem to be very substantiated. Doesn't seem to be much meat to it. It just seems like it's a bunch of people trying to create a bunch of controversy right now. And like I said, I'm not a Donald Trump fan. Never have been. Not a Donald Trump detractor either, really. I'm just someone that will judge him on every single thing he does, basically. Because as an American, that's my right, to pay attention to what the president does and speak my mind on it. And if he does something good, I'll be like, yay. If he does something bad, I'll be like, boo. But things like this that are just created to divide and stir up emotion, etc., they don't seem like they do any good. And so far, as far as this is concerned, it seems like one, like I said, it's a whole lot of conjecture. And two, it's a lot of people leaving out a lot of information, like how it's not just his birthday, it is actually the anniversary of the armed forces. So it seems like people want you to think something that may not be true. So in this case, I'm not going to be too concerned about it. If it happens, like I said, that's pretty gross. Don't like it. If the president comes out and says, yeah, it's because of my birthday, well, then I'd be like, well, then you don't need to be president. You think you're some sort of king or dictator. And anybody that follows Donald Trump, if that turned out to be true, couldn't say, yeah, he needs to go. They still had to make excuses for him on something like that. Well, then they're not free-thinking Americans. They are brainwashed cult members. But like I said, doesn't look like it's happening. And I'd like to think even the most staunch Donald Trump supporters would stand up and go, no, we don't have military parades to honor a president. But like I said, as of right now, doesn't look like there's much to this story. Doesn't look like there's any reason for people to be getting upset. And as to whether we do something or not for the anniversary of the actual armed forces, well, that would be a different subject completely. I'm against doing anything like this, but that's something we'll tackle when it's actually an issue. And what I'm talking about is wanting to put on, goddamn, I wasn't even close to making any sense. Talking about, at least to me. No, well, that'll confuse people. That didn't make any sense. To address that, it's not how I want to say it. Thinks in what he says. So, what is that ringing?